Welcome, everybody, to We Geek Podcast. Today is February 28th, episode 132. My name is Adam, and I'm joined by my good friend Logan.
Hello.
What up, man? So, has it been a busy week?
Oh, you know, same old, same old. Not been too bad.
Yeah. Same here, man. It's been kind of a busy week for me. I've been trying to upgrade a lot of things that I have electronically right now, and I got a new mic, so hopefully I sound good. You helped me kind of set everything up and make sure that I'm not speaking into a tin can. Got a pop filter on it. Just good to go with that. I also got a gadget this week. I don't talk about gadgets that much, but I love gadgets. I should say first, I have no delusions to think this is going to help me get healthy. But
what did you get, a Fitbit?
Close. Very close. Cooler than a Fitbit, I think. But it's something that I think is definitely going to help kind of make it a game, I guess. Is I got an Apple Watch. One of the new ones where I felt very extra calling someone from it, because all you have to do is say, "Hey Siri, call whoever," and it does it, and it's you hear them and they hear you, and it's very weird, and it's very very extra. But I don't know, I love it so far. It's really very extra, but it's kind of like a notification machine and a reminder. I've set up all my reminders on it. I've set up my goals for walking, my goals for burning calories. It alerts me when my blood pressure is at a certain point. You can set that. And it's all around a tool for you to kind of monitor your activities, how many steps you walk, how many calories you burn, all of that good stuff. You can set workouts, you can do all sorts of different things with it. So that's kind of how I've been utilizing it. I've been making sure that, before work I do some exercise, after work I do some exercise, and I kind of set up my watch to set with reminders and stop and start times, and it calculates all that stuff. I put in what I'm intaking with food and stuff, and it tells me at the end of the day how many calories I'm burning, and a set goal for if I consume this amount of food and I burn this amount of calories, which is basic stuff for people, but it does it in such a cool way because it dings and all that other stuff. It feels like a game where you're getting rewarded. And it legit just maps out weeks for me, months for me, and it's like, if you want to hit this weight by this time, here's your goal. And so I don't know, it's fun. So that's kind of what I've been messing around with. So that's been my week. Just kind of messing around with that stuff. I watched wrestling and the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, you were pretty vocal about Elimination Chamber.
I'm just not happy. I guess we all knew what was going to happen, but it was seeing it live happen, the way they did it. I was not happy. The way they booked Braun, and it was and spoiler alerts for Elimination Chamber, the way they just came in and was like, oh, see how strong this guy, Braun took them all out. I don't think that's ever happened before. And then at the very end, he gets taken out by Roman Reigns, and we're all supposed to be thrilled by that. And
he got hit with everybody's finisher plus a 4-man shield bomb, and it wasn't enough to put him down. But 2 Superman punches and 2 spears at the end of the match. Oh, that's the end of Braun Strowman. I'm just
It's so annoying. They're so tone deaf, and rumor has it that all these articles say the reason why they had him attack him at the end, which just seemed like something he would do. It doesn't seem like it was some like we got to set the storyline up, but it came out a few months back that Roman Reigns was named by this informant or whatnot in this sting. The guys in jail or whatnot. And so just in case that story becomes a bigger issue, they might tack him on and make it a 3-way for the for the Universal Championship. Which if I was a crazy person, it would make me want to call Connecticut and pretend I'm with the Miami Herald and start asking questions.
Yes. I'm an ace reporter type freely from the Miami Herald. I need to speak to a Mr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon regarding this story here about an employee of his, Mr. Roman Reigns, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, with this steroids investigation. We're just looking for a quote to confirm something we've heard from a couple of different sources about Mr. Reigns' involvement. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to gather about 10 of my friends and pay them like $5 and have them call like from a whatever number to do that, just to get them a little scared. And how would that be next Monday? Like, it's announced if Braun wins this match, he'll be entered into the... And you guys can all thank me.
Yeah, right.
But how crazy is that? This guy's involved in a drug scandal. And they're like, well, let's push him for his fourth main event.
Right. The idea that this really does kind of rest on the head of a pin like that is nuts. It's crazy. General.
He should be punished just like Enzo had it coming to him with all the stuff that he did wrong. But he shouldn't be put on a different pedestal, you know what I mean? He should, when you're being named like that, I don't even know why you shouldn't be in the main events when you have that much controversy around you.
I don't know.
Man, that was frustrating to watch. I now know how people felt watching Cena just win everything.
If you're somebody who missed those years, then you get the Roman Reigns years. If you're like a lot of us who lived through those years, you're just having flashbacks, and you're like, oh my god, it's just a different haircut. Like it's the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. And I'm like I'm paying $9.90 a month to see the same matches, and I went on my little rants. Like they have so much talent. You could throw a pin at the people on the card that are on TV right now, on SmackDown and Raw, and you're almost always going to hit someone who's a future Hall of Famer. It would be hard to find somebody that is just on those two shows right now that you can make an argument for 90% of them, I think.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And we got AJ Styles, we got Nakamura, of course they're going to be in their match, but we have Kevin Owens, we have all these other people, we have Samoa Joe, we have Seth Rollins, Dean's injured, so is Samoa Joe, I guess, but you got all of these people, you got Finn Balor, like you could have a Balor club, a legit Balor club right now, all of these people, and we're going to get a match that we got a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it's the year Braun Strowman has had, and the way he's gotten over with the crowd and the way at first he was pushed and he's still being pushed, it seems like, but it's very organic, it feels like.
Yeah. It's way more organic. It feels like he's earned this, and it just felt like Roman hasn't.
They it's a WWE, so they give him things to do, you know what I mean? So at some point they have to take what they're given and make a masterpiece out of it, and he has.
Yes, he has.
So yes, he's been given a push. Yes, that he's been given all these great big man things to do. But when I look back at the past year, almost every moment I can think of involved him, just kind of like how Stone Cold. When I think about Stone Cold, I don't think really about the matches, of course. I think about a few of them, but I think about when he did his Austin 316 promo, when he came out with the beer truck, when he plays on, the ukulele or whatever with Kurt Angle. Like, I think of those moments where he comes with a gun and it says bang on it. In the PG era, Braun Strowman is getting over when he comes out with a big cello or whatever that was, the big bass thing. It's things like that. Even people like Elias, like, they're so new, but they are just on fire right now.
Elias has amazed me because I was one of the people, I hated the Drifter. It's the same character, but I hated him in NXT. Because he did nothing. They really didn't do much of anything with him. And then his first month on the main roster, where he just kind of wandered through the camera shot, that by itself was brilliant. And everything he's turned it into, he has worked that thing. It's crazy. Oh, yeah. There's no reason for he or Aiden English to be over. There's no way that their characters should work. But they have found their own ways to do it. And my hat is off to them, and I'm with Lana and everything she's been tweeting lately about how ridiculous it is not just from last night. Did you see the tweet she had tonight?
No, I didn't see. What was the tweet tonight?
Yeah, just about how over Rusev is, and how during every match there are Rusev Day chants, but he didn't even have a match tonight, let alone anything at WrestleMania. It's insane. And she's absolutely right.
And the thing is, I completely agree with her, but at the same time, that's dangerous. Like, she is...
Yeah, unless it's part of it. And I think you could absolutely write that in as part of her character.
Yeah, but if she's legit going to piss off Vince McMahon.
Well,
like, that's what I'm afraid of. And then I'm afraid that they're just going to get even more buried for the next however many years. But I guess, what's the worst can happen? They go to New Japan?
Could you imagine Rusev Day in New Japan? I would.
Oh, they'd have a blast.
They would have the most fun with that. And the idea of being let go from WWE is not the end of the world, and sometimes not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, no, I think Cody proved that.
Cody has been the poster child for that. Cody said, You know what, and to be fair to everybody involved, there's no bad blood there. He's come out a bunch of times and said it wasn't a bad thing. It was just I didn't feel it there, and I wanted to do something else, and he did, and damn, has he found it.
He really has. Yeah, and so, I agree with her. I thought, at first I was like, she's talking about WWE, obviously, but she could easily be like she was watching The Walking Dead or something. Well, but I guess now that tonight, then it's just, there's no excuses there.
Yeah, because from Sunday it was kind of vague. It was like, I like when there's drama. I don't like all this predictable stuff. And we were like, ooh, we should talk about Roman Reigns. But yeah, it could have been about anything, but come on, we all know what it was about.
It's so true. If Vince had just, man, if he would have at the last minute been like, let's put Braun over, because everyone's thinking, here comes, now it's down to Braun and Strowman. Strowman and Roman. Strowman has knocked everybody out. No way they're going to have him go over. Of course, Roman's going to spear him 6 times and win. And the top would have came off if Strowman would have won that match. Because then it would have freaked everybody out. Would have made everyone go, wait a second. Oh, this whole year we thought that it was definitely going to be Roman.
Yeah.
And now what's going to happen? That would have think about how many people would have been talking about that, would have been excited about it. But now everybody is legitimately talking about after Mania. No one's talking about Mania. Everyone's talking about, well, let's see. I can't wait until Roman gives up the championship to someone down the road.
Yeah.
And I know people are getting excited about his promo. He did much better than he always does.
Man, we have seen glimpses of that. The idea of just let him show emotion. Roman has never really shown emotion. That's been the
Right.
problem. He stands there and he just straight-laced delivers everything. But he got fired up. It was a work shoot and all this, and it was scripted, but it was supposed to look off script and whatever. But
we've seen it before, though. We've seen Cena. It's the same thing Cena did, ironically, a few years back.
Right, but he got the added element of this was supposed to happen tonight, but where's
Right.
Brock? Brock couldn't even be bothered to show up when he was advertised.
Right.
And now we don't know what's happened here. I haven't seen a definitive thing on whether he was actually supposed to be there or something happened or what.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it had that added element of not just because Brock is also is somebody who is never. Cena and Rock have both come out and said my home is the WWE and then gone off to do other things. Brock has never said that. He's always been upfront about I go where the money is.
He just does it for the money.
Yeah,
right.
And on one hand, that's fair. That's a perfectly acceptable stance to take. It's a job, it's a business, that's fine. But tell that to the fans.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that Brock's gonna leave, and that Paul Heyman's probably gonna go and be Ronda's manager.
That's the way they should go.
Or maybe Roman. Who knows?
No.
Well, I mean, it would help him with with his promos.
He's not gonna flip his alignment like that. No, he should go and be Ronda's talking
it makes
piece,
sense
because she can't cut a promo. She needs a lot of work in that department. The best part of her thing at Elimination Chamber was when she stopped. Was honestly when she stopped talking and just started kicking ass.
Oh, yeah, totally. When she flipped Triple H, I was like, whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah, and the face, like when Ronda is just badass Ronda Rousey, that's perfect. And then they hand her a microphone and a little shaky, and not, it kind of dents that image a little bit. And there'll be, there's work to do and everything, and I'm sure they want a full character, and she's not used to this.
Oh,
so
well, that's the thing is that, like, unlike most people coming into the WWE right now, she's not going to get a year at NXT. She's not going to get any of that stuff. She might she's probably actually in Orlando. She probably does go to the NXT, she's
been at the Performance Center the last I don't know how many months.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah. So I'm sure she's doing like the acting classes or whatever that they have there for them. But she didn't get she hasn't been on an NXT like going out in front of a crowd or anything like that. And
there it is. It's a whole different thing, and it's different than just straight up trash talk. Like you can take some of that from all the UFC press conferences and everything.
Oh yeah, she's got something there. She's not, she's definitely not like she's used to being in front of crowds and having to say things after a match and before a match and for a camera in her face. But it's a different animal.
It is. It absolutely is.
Yeah. So I like what they've done with her so far. I'm excited to see her fight. And what they do with her, I think they so far so good. The stuff with the Triple, I just don't like Stephanie. I like Triple H. I like when Triple H is scared. He's at his best when he's terrified.
Yeah, when she bowed up to Hunter and he just kind of went, "Whoa, okay, whoa."
We saw this, and then like when Braun put his hands on Triple H earlier this year.
And, that was fun.
I love goofy Triple H. The day will happen when Vince McMahon is either not running the company anymore or he's gone some other place. And Triple H. Well, I'm going to say as nicely as I can, because I don't necessarily mean pass away, but when he's just not there in control of things, and it is Triple H's show.
Yeah.
I could totally see Triple H becoming that Mr. McMahon character, because he kind of already is.
Right, and that's that's definitely what he's been working at for a while.
Right. He never used to show that side, I guess, from what I could see. I never remember him seeing that side. Like, I even remember, like, when he had his stuff with Booker T and he was straight racist, he won the match.
Yeah,
you know, so, like...
Yeah, that was yeah.
That's something else. But to see him, you know, when he's on Jimmy Fallon and he's singing and he's doing this and he's getting in SummerSlam and he's being a coward to Braun Strowman and stuff, like, that's the kind of Triple... I love seeing that kind of Triple H. It's super entertaining.
The Uncle Hunter version of Triple H.
Exactly.
It is. It's
the
great.
Uncle Hunter, he's retired. Dude's still buff, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's definitely the fun part of it. And it's like he said, when he's more in control and gets to decide more of that, he'll let his beard down a little bit more, and it'll be fun. But I have to.
And ironically, I like when Stephanie is being good. I think she's much more natural as someone that's sweet. When I see her doing like the
that's because you've missed a lot of years.
I guess, but when I see her do the Cure for Connor and stuff like that, like when I see her being really nice and sweet, it just feels natural.
True.
Or it looks natural to me.
But she's such a good bad guy though. The problem is, the last few years with the Authority it's been this weird, like, is she good? Is she bad? Well, she did something good. Well, now she did something bad. But here she did something good. Here she did something we're not really sure about. They just haven't picked one.
Yeah, because one night she'll come out and she'll talk about, this is the first women's battle royale, and it's like this very awesome thing, and she's completely herself. And then a week later, she's calling like Ronda Rousey a bitch, and like it's just the complete opposite.
Exactly.
You know,
and that's been the problem, is that it's just so ridiculously inconsistent. But but hats off to her for when she got told, now you have to apologize, and she put that mean face on, and she got right in Ronda's face and went, I am so sorry, I really didn't mean to.
Oh yeah, and let's talk about Alexa Bliss when she did that turn.
It's magnificent. It's perfect.
You know, there's a few other people that can do that in the industry. Like Vince McMahon does it so well.
Yeah.
I bet he was super happy with that when she just was like, she was in tears, she's crying, and then she just turns and he was like, none of you will ever.
I loved it, and I'm so happy, and I'm so thrilled, and this is the greatest thing ever, and I want to say thank you to all of you, because none of you will ever accomplish your dreams. I was like,
it's so good.
It
God.
was fantastic, because the I don't know if you saw the Cultaholic guys did their reaction video.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Because of how long that little promo went, they've got one of their drinking rules is for every face turn or heel turn, down your drink. So she was like halfway through that promo, and they downed their drinks, and like 20 seconds later is when she drops the other shoe, and they were like, well, oh hell.
Yeah, because she was a face at that moment when she was all teary-eyed and stuff, and then she just went right back to heel.
That was so good. She deserves that title. She is so good. And that match, man, the matches from Elimination Chamber were actually pretty good. The women's Elimination Chamber match was a solid, hey, this is the first time we've ever done this match.
It was great.
It had just a couple of big spots. The Twisted Bliss from the top of the chamber was insane. It was perfectly done, and it should not have been transitioned into the bank statement like that. That was just ridiculous.
Right.
But and the men's Elimination Chamber was a great match. Yeah, the ending sucked, but it was one of the best Elimination Chamber matches. It was so good.
Right. No, I completely agree. They had me all the way into the end, and that's been my problem with them this whole time, is that it's like whoever's booking the matches, whoever's getting these people in there are doing such a great job, but whoever's in charge of the finish, whoever's in charge of saying who goes over, that's where they lose me. That's
up at the top, man. Especially at the world title level in particular. Yeah, that's at the very top.
Yeah, because it's just infuriating to watch, because it's like, oh, here we go, same old thing, you know. And the problem is like, what if this drug thing goes nowhere, and it's just Brock and Reigns for the championship? What are they gonna do with Brock? Or what are they gonna do with Braun? He literally is nothing. Well, he's gonna fight Elias? Is he gonna win the Andre the Giant Battle Royale? It's just so, ugh. I don't know. Like, wake me up when it's next year, I guess. But we all know what's going to happen next year. We all know it's going to be Cena and Reigns probably,
No.
No. You say no.
I say no. I don't buy it. I don't think so. Because
I don't think so.
No, because I think by that point we're going to have... I think next year is Strowman's Mania year. I think he wins or defends a title at Mania. I think
he should.
I think he will either be champion by or at WrestleMania next year. No doubt in my mind.
I hope so. I just have the feeling that someone right now is pinning next year, and they're gonna go, well, we got Cena that can break a record here, and we have Reigns, who basically is going to be his replacement. For them to headline Mania, he's probably got a hard on right now thinking about it.
I will give them that match under one circumstance: either John breaks the record or he retires. I want it if they're gonna make that match, if they're gonna make it Cena Reigns for John's record-breaking 17th world title reign, and
that's what it would be,
and his first Universal title reign. Then I will give them that on the stipulation that if John Cena loses, he retires. I will not be.
I don't see Cena retiring. I see him doing exactly what The Rock does.
But man, he's too beat up. John is not in the shape he says he's in.
I don't know. He seems that bigger, and
you can look buff and everything, but I mean, think about what's been the biggest problem for a lot of wrestlers is hips. Man, you just can't get away from that. It's all the stuff you can't see. Yeah, he's got muscles for days. He's got 25 feet of muscles, but
you're right.
He's not in the best. He's not in the shape he thinks he's in, and that's part of why he's transitioning out of it like he has been. He's just not. He's not in extraordinary ring shape anymore. He'll get in there and go, but what'll happen to him may wind up being the same thing that happened to The Rock when he came back and jumped in the ring and tore the hell out of his insides because he wasn't ready for it.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. So I see his character not wanting to ever give up, but you're absolutely right. It'd probably be Reigns that retires him, right?
Yeah, and that's the only problem that I have with this is that then Reigns gets to put another feather in his cap, and that's my only problem with that match. It seems so unearned, and I wasn't around during the Cena days, but did Cena seem unearned, or did it seem like he went out there and earned it? Here's the thing. John's mic work has always been fantastic. The problem was that he won everything, and everybody got tired of it real fast. And if you go back, it was at SummerSlam, I don't even know how many years ago. It's been 7 years, 8 years. I don't know how much you know about the Nexus. It was a group.
Right. No. It was the NXT that came up, and they're headed by the King. What's his name?
Wade Barrett. Yeah, this was
Wade Barrett.
This was pre-King, but they were on fire. They made WWE interesting again. It was a group of those. What was it? 7 guys, and they tore the place apart. Like actually physically tore the place apart. And then at the end of that SummerSlam match, 2 of them are beating the crap out of John Cena and just destroyed him. And then miraculously, here comes Super Cena, pops back up and buries both of them. And that's what a lot of people point to, and myself included, as kind of the thing of like, okay, John is the untouchable, I'm going to be on top of the mountain until I say otherwise guy.
I guess I've gotten him at his best years where he totally can be beaten, and he's putting on great promos.
If this had been John Cena throughout his entire career, nobody would be complaining anytime he popped up to want to be in a world title match.
Right.
But this was not. We're just so tired of we're just so used to seeing Triple H, John Cena, and Randy Orton headline promos for 6 years. Like, I mean, that was it, you know. And then you would have The Undertaker and JBL and the Great Khali on the SmackDown side of things. Like, that was, you know, those were your 6 for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah, it just... I feel now I understand a little bit of what you guys went through and how you could be jaded and like weary when they do, or not surprised, I guess, when they do stuff like this.
Oh yeah, sure, it's Roman Reigns. They could do something interesting. No, because it's the same thing. It's deja vu all over again.
Yeah, if they somehow get Strowman in the match, I'll be a little bit happier, but I'm sure that would be just so that he can get pinned. And Brock doesn't look weak.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, or who knows? Maybe Brock will just go off the reserve and leave his belt in the ring before Mania, because his contract is up before Mania, correct?
After Mania.
Oh, it's after. Okay, well, damn it, there goes that idea.
Yeah. No, boy, wouldn't that be nice? But no, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, if I showed up in Green Bay next week at SmackDown and somehow managed to make it backstage, could I talk Shane McMahon into letting me into the WWE Championship match at Fastlane? Right. Because goddamn.
Yeah, like I hope. I hope AJ Styles is just going to be the guy, because we all want to see AJ versus Nakamura. We don't want to see John Cena versus Nakamura.
No, and we're still going to get that. They're putting Cena in. The reason they're putting Cena in this match is so that he can lose and continue on his whole I have to be at WrestleMania, I'm desperate kind of jag. That's why they're going to be in this match. AJ at the end, however the match breaks down, at the end AJ is going to retain by pinning Cena, and it's going to set him off even further.
What do you think about the rumor that he does fail, he loses the match, and he's sitting in the ring, and then boom,
gong,
you hear the bell tone, you hear the gong, and the lights go off, and he stands up, and then you get the Undertaker that's like, challenge accepted or whatever. I could see them doing that, where he's like, "Oh, I got a path now." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That could headline Mania totally. If in fact the Undertaker's last match for the second time.
Yeah.
I'm of two minds of that. I hate that because I thought I watched his retirement match. But my other mind is I would rather John Cena retire him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, boy would I ever.
Than Roman Reigns. So if I didn't go to the match, I'd be all for it.
Yeah.
But
then you have, if you're going to do Cena Reigns next year, then Cena gets to say, "Oh, remember when you kept saying, 'Oh, I retired the Undertaker,' and you didn't get to do that?"
Exactly.
Yeah, well, guess what, boy? I did that. I'm the one who actually retired the Undertaker. And then you have Roman turn that around. All right, you want a shot at this title at WrestleMania? You couldn't get it done at the Royal Rumble, so how about you and me at WrestleMania? You want this title, fine, but if you lose, then I retire you.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen, because then it's going to be the battle of who retired, because now that's exactly why they did this match this year again, because it was the battle of who retired who beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And you have Cena do that. I hate that they did that. The Undertaker should have never lost it unless it actually was his retirement match.
I would have loved to have seen him just for that to have been it.
Yeah. And I would have rather, of any of the three, John Cena be the one that beats him. Even though people would have hated that, I think it would have been well deserved because he actually does like the company and he's a good worker.
I would have. I see. Here's where I'm of two minds. Because I don't think Cena needed the rub of being the guy who retired the Undertaker.
Sure.
I think that because he's only got a handful more years. I think you take somebody who's. If they had done Roman Reigns, Braun, I would be okay with Braun now being that guy.
He is the next big guy.
Yeah. I would be okay with that. And they could have had that be the one that broke the streak. And then a couple years and the Undertaker pops up here and there. and then has his one more match, and that's against John. So John, Braun gets the rub of breaking the streak, but John gets to retire him.
Right. That would have been perfect. And I don't see Braun going to the UFC anytime soon or anything like that. He seems like he's going to be WWE until the end, until he retires.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
He's so great.
Did you see him at the Funko headquarters?
Yeah, down the slide. He's such a character. I've talked about this. My buddy knows him. He's worked with him. So anytime Braun does something crazy, I send him a text message. He's like, Adam is out of his goddamn mind. he's hilarious. But he's definitely my favorite right now in the WWE. Him and Bliss. So of course I like seeing their mixed matched challenge stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I'd have given everything if he'd have gone down that slide and gone wee as he came down.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he's ridiculous. But all right, well, we should probably get into some news at some point.
I mean, we've done what, like half an hour, 40 minutes,
Yeah, I do like our wrestling talk because after seeing that, I was just. Ooh, we're what, like less than a month away?
5 weeks. 5 weeks from Mania.
5 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nice to sit and. I can't complain. I'm glad I went to WrestleMania last year. So I don't know how to say this without sounding like a jerk, but I'm glad that I can sit air conditioning this year and kind of relax and watch it on the big screen TV and not like have to deal with everything.
Yeah, no, it's one thing, it's like when I
don't want to sound ungrateful. That's what I'm trying to not sound like.
No, it's just it's a totally different experience. It's something everybody, I think every wrestling fan should do once if they can, just so you can say I was at WrestleMania, and then the next year you sit at home and you go, you know what? There's pros and cons to both of them.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and sitting out in the sun, because in Florida, it's just, oh, man, that heat. So, yeah, it's going to be nice to kind of relax and chill and watch it like you would the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited. I need to get to one of these NXT. Every time I go to look, they're sold out for the tapings.
Yeah, you've got to get on them immediately, because the students pick up a lot of them.
Oh, yeah. See, I wish I knew. If you know anybody that goes there still or that can still get tickets, please let me know.
Dude, I would if I could, but I don't. Like, everybody I know was in my class.
And I'm so afraid to get, like, a StubHub and show up and then, like, someone come and be like, hey, that's my seat. But
deal with it.
I don't know. Yeah. Like, I saw that same thing go down when I went there before, and it was a good 20 minutes of them with the ushers going back and forth, and they're, and they're like, okay, well, he's got the StubHub, and they're scanning it, and they're trying not to be on TV. It was ridiculous. But anyway,
hey, just remember, if you ever want the crowd on your side, bring a beach ball.
Oh God,
I will. If I ever go to an event and I see a beach ball, I will eat it in front of you. I will rip it out of your hands. I will find whoever brought it, and I will saute it and sauce it and eat it right in front of you.
Yeah, it's pretty disrespectful.
It's ridiculous, and I don't want to hear about it. Some people, well, they bought a ticket, they came to have a good time. No, they bought a ticket to see what the hell was happening in that ring. They want to play with a beach ball, go out in a parking lot.
Yeah, I'm totally down for the crowd chanting and having a great time and trying to be a part of the show. But when you're doing the beach ball, that is just way over the line disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's one thing shouting and screaming at them and doing whatever, they're heels, they're going to yell back at you, whatever, that's fine. But if to do that, it's to take everyone's attention away from it.
But
dumb.
Kudos to Matt Hardy for trying to co-opt the wave.
Wait, what did he do?
When they did the wave during his match with Bray on Raw, Matt tried to steer into it. Like, when he got up at one point and he just kind of followed it around. Like, he was the one controlling it. That was some crazy on your feet quick thinking.
That's how you kind of you make it a part of it and more of a positive thing.
Yeah, it didn't work, but it was a good try.
Right, definitely. Man, did you see what happened to Kevin Smith?
Man, I knew somebody that was at that show.
Are you kidding?
I had a friend of mine who lives out there who went to, and I actually meant to message her about it and see how it was, just because she went to that show, and now you look back and it's like, oh, Kevin Smith was filming a stand-up special. I wonder how that went. Now it's, oh my God, Kevin Smith filmed a stand-up special and then he had a heart attack. What the hell was that like?
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's okay. He's recovering. Everything's fine. But it was bad.
Yeah. It was the artery, the widowmaker, the widow.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically the artery that you don't want to close that will like almost definitely kill you.
Yeah. The highest percentage of fatal heart attacks occurs when that artery's blocked. The LAD artery.
Yeah. And he had the 2 shows booked. He did the first one, which your friend was at, and he said he felt sick. He felt like he had to throw up. And he decided he was like, I was so close to just going to the next show, but thank God he decided, you know what? It's not worth it. I'll go to the hospital. Went to the hospital. They found out that, he had the heart attack, and I think they immediately put a stent in it. Yeah. I don't know if he had no way he had like a full surgery yet, right?
No, my God. The speed with which he posted everything and all that, he couldn't have had surgery. There's no way.
Yeah. I think that he went into surgery after he had the what do you call it, the stent put in? Yeah. Because I remember seeing his picture. I remember saying he had a stent, and then I remember seeing much later, which is today, a thing about his daughter put up saying that he just now got out of the whatever. So I don't know if he had anything else done. So I don't know. But because those kind of things, that a stent is only it's almost like putting a Band-Aid on it. To some degree, like some people do have to get the bypass, so I'm curious if he's going to end up having to do that. But man, it's scary. His father passed away from that, I saw.
Yeah, and it hits home for me too, because I've had some relatives, including my father, who had a heart attack. And that is scary. Can't imagine what he went through, his family. That's terrifying. And the thing is, like, he's gotten a lot healthier. Like, I know he's lost some weight. I don't know if he still smokes cigarettes or not, but just weed.
That's just weed. Yeah, that's got to be kind of a wake up call, though.
Yeah. I'm not seeing anything. Like I'm looking, but I don't see any updates. It doesn't look like it, because he did a Facebook Live thing, and he's still. I mean, he's sitting up in his hospital bed, baseball cap on, and everything. So I don't think that he did.
Okay. Yeah, I'm showing here. They said that he had 100% blockage in his LAD artery, aka the Widowmaker.
Yeah.
And see, my dad had it in not that one, but a different one, and they were like, well, the stent's, okay, but you gotta consider the other one. So I'm curious if he's gonna go through with the surgery or not. We are both just gigantic fans of Kevin Smith. Like, a lot of, the Clerks movie came in an age, I think, when I stopped looking at movies the same way. It was almost like a transitional period for me with film. And I know a lot of people who, because I wouldn't consider myself a film buff or anything like that.
Right.
But we probably see more films than most people. So it's almost like we have, at least me, I have like my hands up on the window of those kind of people, if that makes sense, where I can see in the window, and I can see why they love film and all that other stuff. And Kevin Smith to me was kind of that gateway where I started really looking at films differently, when I started really paying attention to behind the scenes and how they were made and why they were made, and Clerks and Mallrats. They were just such different films than I was used to. And he always felt like, here I'm talking about him like he's passed away, but you know what I'm saying. Like, he feels like that wall between you and celebrities and directors and everything else. He feels like the guy that is like, there's no wall there. He's like, I'm just like you. And he feels like anybody could make a movie. Anyone that could go run up a $30,000 credit card could go do what he did, if that makes sense.
And part of it is because he's the first one to tell you, look, if I made a movie, anybody can make a movie.
Exactly.
He has no illusions about anything. Some people, they make a movie and it gets big in any way, and it goes to their head whether they want it to or not. It just happens. And Kevin has always seemed, even in some of the older interviews where there was a little bit of pretentiousness there on occasion. It wasn't.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't big. Excuse me. It wasn't like, oh, I made a movie, now I'm a big deal. Pretentious. It was the kind of, nobody understands me. Why don't more people dig my movies kind of thing, which is a whole different side of it. But
oh yeah,
as time went on, and I think especially after everything that happened with I can't even Cop Out, after everything that happened with that, and he just took time away and did his own thing and just kind of cooled off and took a look at everything, I think that really helped him center and find the person that we see now, this guy who's just saying, look, I tripped and fell into this, and he's always been grateful to it. And what he did with Tusk, whether you like the movie or not, you've gotta love how we saw the process from start to finish. The episode of Smodcast where they came up with the idea, and they admitted, they were like, this is the dumbest idea ever, but wouldn't it make a fun movie? Right. They're like, nobody's going to make this movie. Well, hell, I'm a filmmaker. I'll make the movie. And he did. And, say what you want about it. The man had an idea, and he got it done.
Yeah.
Better or worse, doesn't matter. He got it done. And that, by itself, is impressive. And the idea of taking everybody along and almost every podcast he did during the production. Hey, here's what we're doing now. Hey, here's what happened here. Oh man, I fell through part of the stage, but because I was fat, I got stuck like Winnie the Pooh, and they had to pull me out, and I'm fine. Like there's no air about him. He knows who he is, and he knows that some people really love him and some people really don't, and he doesn't really give a damn. Not in a callous kind of, I don't care if you don't like me kind of way, but just in a, whatever, can't please everybody. And that's, the work ethic and everything, like he's a good dude. And I tip my hat to him, and a lot of advice that he's given, I try to stick by, because it's just solid, sensible advice.
Yeah. Yeah. Amen. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. It's definitely gonna be following to see how he does, and I look forward to, he's itching to get back on a microphone and tell people about his story and everything else. You said he's got like a Facebook video and stuff?
Yeah, he did like an almost 20-minute video he's got up on Facebook about it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I need to go watch that.
I can't wait until the next episode of Hollywood Babylon, because when they bring him out, like Ralph's going to have a walker or a fake oxygen tank or something to bring out with him. They're going to have so much fun with it. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Just hope he gets better and gets healthy, and, many, many more years for him.
Yes, many.
Oh, yeah. let's get into. We got some box office numbers up here.
Yeah, we'll do the top 5 for the week again.
Yeah.
Black Panther had a damn good second week, with just short of 112 million, which is a smaller percentage drop than The Last Jedi had. Black Panther is on track to do some major bank.
Well, I saw a picture. It had like the first 10 days of Black Panther compared to Last Jedi, compared to Age of Ultron, and it did better than those two movies.
Yeah, it's on.
That's crazy.
The big thing is going to be whether or not it is going to be staying power, and I think part of the problem is through March it's going to start having some more competition.
Yeah.
And so
definitely. Yeah, I mean, I meant to go see it last weekend, but I was so packed and busy. So definitely seeing it again this week, and I saw that it's still going to be in the Dolby Theater, so I'm going to be seeing it back in that theater, and I don't know, pretty excited to see it again. I know we have the next big one is Ready Player One, right?
Yeah, end of March. Well, A Wrinkle in Time comes out before that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We've got A Wrinkle in Time and Pacific Uprising before we get to Ready Player One.
Gotcha. Okay. I guess that's the next big one for me, at least.
Yeah, that's fine.
But Pacific, you said Pacific Rim, right?
Yeah. We've got A Wrinkle in Time in 2 weeks. No, in a week from Friday. This week is we'll jump ahead a little bit.
I'm not excited about that one, but I'm gonna go see it. So
yeah, that's it. Well, no, actually, we'll come back to that because I want to spend a minute on them.
Okay.
But anyway, the drop in Black Panther was just shy of 45%, which was not a bad first to second weekend drop. It was not bad at all.
No.
Total domestic gross puts it a little shy of 404 million. It's I think over 700 global now.
Okay.
It's not slowing down. I saw estimates from Monday that said it made about 8 million just on a Monday.
Oh wow.
Which is about half of what Game Night made in its opening weekend. 17 million, which again, not terrible,
No.
but probably not gonna make its money back. Sorry, Warner Brothers.
They probably didn't think Black Panther was going to be as big of a juggernaut as it is.
Dude, everybody was the money that Black Panther made its second weekend was what people were saying it was probably going to make its opening weekend.
Yeah.
And nobody, and myself included. I'm thrilled to be wrong. Nobody saw this coming, not at all. And I'm floored, and I love it. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Rabbit came in third. Sony keeps putting these out. 12 million and change, just a little under 13. About a 27% drop from the week before. So it's total domestic's about 71 million. It's not terrible, but also probably not tremendously profitable for Sony either by the time all's said and done. Annihilation made 11 million, which is due in large part to the fact that it didn't come out on a lot of screens.
That's right. That's out. That's something I need to see.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's not bad. I'll actually have to go to the theater I work at to see it because it's not playing in Statesville.
Oh, okay.
We've got Every Day here, but we don't have Annihilation, which I thought was strange because I thought the amount of screens was flipped. I thought Every Day was coming out on fewer screens than Annihilation was. But, things happen. And rounding out the top 5, 50 Shades, 7 million. Putting it just short of 90. A fairly dismal kind of run that it's had. I think they expected, the first one did fantastic, the second one not so much, but that's what happens. The third one is going to come back up. It didn't. Freed has done less money than the second one did.
I think we're just out of that time frame where Twilight was everyone was talking about.
Well,
50 Shades of Grey.
Here's the thing, though. The girls that really enjoyed Twilight 10 years ago were were part of the target audience for this. It was soccer moms and girls who grew up on Twilight.
Sure, but I guess I think if something else came out like that, it would be more popular. It just seems like that was exciting 4 years ago or whenever that was popular.
Twilight or 50 Shades?
50 Shades, right?
Yeah, 4 or 5 years, something like that.
I feel like the time is past for it now.
Yeah.
Like it's whatever the next thing like that is right around the corner.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Slender Man movie that's coming out. That's like 2 years too late.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I mean. It seems like that point in time was big for it, but it has certainly passed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those kind of films don't have the same like. So they're not like superhero films that just seem like they have much longer, time period to be popular before they fizzle out.
It's like
that just seemed like it came and it I don't know. I think people are looking for the next thing, I guess.
Yeah, and they'll find it and will probably be worse off for it because it'll be just as bad.
No, I don't know. I think that kind of genre can be done well.
As soon as it is, I'll believe you.
No, but people said the same thing about comic book movies. And like there's going to be a ton of bad ones, but I think that kind of genre can be done right.
I agree. I'm not saying it can't be. I'm just saying as soon as it is, I'll believe you. Because I totally agree. You're absolutely right. It is like comic book films where they were just bad for so long until finally they got it right. And it was the same thing. It was like, well, comic book movies are going to be huge. Superheroes are going to be amazing. Yeah, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. And now we've seen it.
There's something to those kind of films. Like, there's a reason why they have so many fans. But, maybe it had a little bit more of a crossover appeal. I don't know.
How are you going to crossover appeal with this, though?
Yeah, but you could say the same thing about a lot of genres that were very inclusive at one point in time that did not. I don't know. When I see those kind of films and I see people, like you said, the people went to saw the theater, it seemed like they were dragging their boyfriends to it and they wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
If you somehow got them interested in it in some way, I think maybe you would have something just gold on your hands, if that makes sense.
There is a very easy way to do that with a movie like this, and I may catch some flack for this, but let's be brutally honest here. The way you get guys to not hate going to this movie is to say, guys, you sit through this movie for 2 hours, you know what kind of mood your lady's going to be in when you get home.
Well, yeah, that's the obvious. That's what everyone knows when they go see that kind of film.
And it's crass and it's tactless to say it, but that's the draw there. If they just put it in the advertising, then guys wouldn't have hated it quite so much.
Right. I think it's, I don't know. Maybe it's who they're choosing. I don't know. I don't know what they can do. I'm not a writer.
Make better movies, because those movies have been awful.
Right.
They've just been terrible from start to finish because the source material was trash and not the fun kind of trash. Because you can have fun trash. You can have fun, badly written, like little garbage stuff, and it's fine. This was not that. This was something that was bad writing that took itself way too seriously. And from that, when you allow that author to then have control over the script, you're going to have exactly what you get. Because the movies are crap. They're terrible.
Right. So I think, it could just be done better. You're absolutely right. But, one day.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, this week's movies, we'll start with Red Sparrow from Fox.
Ooh, I want to see that.
Has been this is the flip side of, Game Night got a 9 from IGN, and I thought, well, I didn't see this coming. I thought Red Sparrow was going to get, like a 5 or 6 because it looks fairly cookie cutter. It got a 2.5.
What?
They savaged it. They destroyed it. And I haven't, now, to be fair, I have not read any other reviews. This is just one review that I read. So I don't know what the general consensus is. But I tended to echo their sentiment of looking at this and thinking, this just doesn't look remotely interesting.
Oh, it does to me. It basically looks like Black Widow the movie.
It looks like they made a cheap Black Widow knockoff, and they left out...
No, to me the trailers look like they made a Black Widow movie where they did not have the weight of having all of these other Disney movies attached to it, where they could make it a rated R film, and they could go balls to the walls with a badass female protagonist being this crazy, almost like a straight up Black Widow, but they just called it Red Sparrow. Like, it seemed to the T a rated R Black Widow movie, and that had me excited. So to hear that it's not, that sucks. Because when you say cheap, I don't think Jennifer Lawrence, I don't think cheap when I see her, when I see what film she's in. I think that she's like one of the top actors on the planet now.
No, and I totally agree. I just, from every trailer that I had seen, I looked at this and I thought, oh, it's like a Black Widow movie, but devoid of anything interesting. Like, I didn't...
But see, the Black Widow character, to me, has been devoided of anything interesting for a lot of the films. It always seemed like we got pieces of it, where she's like the Red Room and stuff like that. We never got anything meaty until the last few movies, it seemed.
Yeah, and that's fair, but it seems... That, to me, looked like exactly what this movie was going to be, was, hey, here's a bland... just kind of, every story beat, and they're not, and this isn't going to be interesting.
I wonder if Disney looks at this film and goes, should we make a Black Widow movie?
I think Disney looks at this film and goes, ha 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 ha. Watch us do it better.
No, I hope they do. Yeah, if this is truly bad, then yes, I do hope whatever the next thing is, if it's Disney doing it, does it better. I mean, that sucks. Oh well, I got Movie Pass, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I am still gonna check it out because I am curious, and I am a big Jennifer Lawrence fan. And I am gonna check it out just so that I know, because I hate being one of those guys like, well, the critics said it's awful, therefore I'm not gonna go see it. I never do that. I look at a movie and I because I was on the fence about this one, and if I'm on the fence, I'm still gonna go see it. But, like, for instance, I still haven't seen the last Transformers film. I have absolutely no desire to see it. I don't want to see it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care.
You know what I am going to see this week, finally?
What?
Coco.
Oh, yeah, because it's out on digital now.
Yes, absolutely. I saw my one of my buddies got the... I think it's out on Blu-ray now, too, because he had the...
Oh, yeah, it is.
He had the steel box, and it just looked beautiful. The steel box itself with all the colors and everything, definitely makes me want to go get that.
Yeah,
and I hear it's good.
It's very good. You will enjoy this.
Man, can I tell you something? This is, it's something I want to get in the future. And I was so close. I was thinking, oh man, this sounds crazy, but I went to Best Buy to go get some things, and I wandered into the TV section, and I shouldn't have done that.
Oh no. You looked at 4K TVs, didn't you?
No, I looked at the LG OLED TVs, and they looked like sex.
Yeah, they do. No, they really do.
Oh man, it was a 55-inch. It was like $1,500, and I was thinking like, well, I could put this on a card or something. And I got out of the store without spending any money, thankfully. But man, that is a dream. That's definitely something that I want, maybe save for or whatever, or maybe wait a few years when OLED is just the norm. But man, they had these great 4K televisions for. I think it was like $300 for like a whatever TLC or TCL, and I was like, oh, I can actually get that. That's totally in my price range. I could, and then the guy, of course, they tell you like a car salesman. Well, that's not true HDR. The true HDR is over here. That just allows the signal and blah blah, and he talked me out of it, and that's when he brought me to the OLED, and I'm like, these are completely out of my price range, but holy shit. Oh my god, did they look nice. Oh, so just it's like, man, to see something like Coco on something like that with the colors popping and everything, whew, maybe in a few years.
That's a movie that's a good test of a TV. Because the dark parts get dark and the colors really pop. So would be, that's actually a fairly decent test balloon for a TV.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, so if you got a TV like that and you got a 4K player, go get Coco, because I'm sure that's going to look good on it. Those animated movies, those are definitely the like you said, the testing devices for it, because man, do they look good.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe next year, the tax man's a little bit more kinder to me. I don't know what I have to do this year to do that, but
I know the feeling, man. I know the feeling.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe I'll have a kid or two, and then I'm just kidding. Man, some of my friends who have kids, their tax returns just look so much better. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, but then, there's the trade-off of, oh, but by the way, you also have this human being to take care of.
No, I know. When I see it, I'm like, 10 grand? How did you get that back? I'm like, what is going on?
Good God.
Yeah. Oh man. But, I don't know. One can dream. One day.
Yeah. But we've also got something else coming out this week, and I want to take a second to talk about this.
Okay.
Because it's Death Wish, and it's a movie that I hope makes negative money. I hope this movie tanks. I hope it bombs. I hope it ends Bruce Willis's career, because first of all, I'm so tired of Bruce Willis, and so is everybody in Hollywood by all accounts. So this is just another, hey, I'm Bruce Willis, and I'm gonna star in this movie where I do whatever I want, and at the end of the day, I win, because that's all he does anymore. But
isn't this a remake or something?
It's a remake of a Charles Bronson film. And
okay.
This could not come out at the worst at any worst possible time. Death Wish is basically the antithesis of Black Panther. Because here, and I will be happy to explain, because the whole point of this movie is, here's a white guy in a hoodie going around killing people, and is that a good idea? I'm sorry, Trayvon Martin was a black kid who was wearing a hoodie and got shot because he was holding a candy bar. This is not, we live in a society right now where this just should not happen. This movie is just not, this is tone deaf. This is beyond tone deaf, to the point of just being ridiculous.
But would you say the same thing about The Punisher?
There's an argument to be made for The Punisher. There is. And I think...
Is it because it's Bruce Willis that it feels more like that?
I think that is part of it. I think it absolutely is.
To me, at least, that's that. Yeah, because I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I was thinking it's kind of similar to The Punisher.
There is an argument to be made there. That's for sure, and it's definitely a discussion worth having. I think the idea that the point of The Punisher isn't isn't as simple as, oh, some guys killed my family, now I have to go kill every bad guy I can find. It is more nuanced than that, and there is a little more. It's not quite as tone deaf. There's absolutely a discussion to be had there, but I think
it's also, I think with we're kind of what sets it apart also is that it's a part of a comic book world, and there's all these other fantastical characters, and it has that kind of weight to it, where I don't think you go into it with the same mindset as something that is way more kind of a realistic, because it looks more realistic, more of a, like, there's no superheroes in this movie. You're not going to get Deadpool, or not Deadpool, but Daredevil or something in the background. So I think that kind of, helps the Punisher's case, where this movie looked like Bruce Willis was pissed off, so he went to go like shoot a bunch of gangsters.
Yeah, pretty much. And,
yeah, at least in the trailer that I'm remembering.
And that's the way they sold it. Oh, and by the way, a hot chick sells him guns, and he makes a boner joke. Like, I mean, that's this. No, I want this movie to absolutely, completely, and totally tank beyond.
Yeah, I think
anything.
it will. You're gonna get your middle-aged, guys that are just into those kind of action movies that will maybe go see it. But that's it. I don't like this is. I don't know anyone my age talking about this movie. This kind of looks like one of those videos that you would get at Blockbuster in the 90s that you might rent a few times, or your dad picks it up or something. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like something that's going to be good in 2018.
No, so I don't expect, and I'll talk numbers next week, but I don't think we're going to have a whole lot of people show up for this.
Oh, there's been 5 of them. This straight up is a Blockbuster movie from the 90s.
Well, because like the first one was a real thing, and then the rest of them all suffered from like direct-to-video-itis, basically.
Yeah, the covers are classic. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't know anything to rent. Just pick up Death Wish 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god, that's funny.
But they felt like in this day and age, a remake of this was what we needed. So this was just bad decisions all the way around. And I don't understand. Like, and here's the thing: my personal distaste for Bruce Willis aside, he does not put butts in seats anymore.
No,
he doesn't. Nobody looks at a thing that says starring Bruce Willis and gets excited.
Yeah,
they just don't. It's so
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It is what it is, and it'll be what it'll be. I don't think this. It may
not even a Die Hard movie, because the last one I don't even remember. I remember like his son or Russia or something.
Yeah,
I had no excitement for it. If you would have told me maybe if he was gonna get back with like, I don't know. I can't think of a movie that I'd be excited if he came back for. At all of the movies that he's done. Maybe like a Fifth Element, maybe, but no. I can't think of.
Yeah, you might be able to get away with like a Fifth Element sequel. Like that might excite people, but not
or
even
if like him and Samuel L. Jackson got together and did Die Hard. Maybe something like that, but no. All of these just
it just doesn't. It just doesn't sell. Sorry, but it doesn't.
Oh, you know what movie he's probably going to be in next?
What movie is he probably going to be in next?
Probably has M. Night Shyamalan attached to it.
Oh, that's right. He is going to be in. I'll
see that.
Yeah, but I mean there's your Samuel L. Jackson co-starring.
You know what? We did it. We went full circle.
We found it. But again, it's not because of him.
It has nothing to do with him.
It's genuinely not about him.
You could tell me that they replaced him with Danny DeVito, and I'd be more excited.
I'd actually want to see that.
I would be thrilled to see Danny DeVito act as Bruce Willis in that movie.
Oh, boy.
All right. So
as the red M&M.
Right. Yes, exactly. Oh, my God. Give Danny DeVito more more roles.
I miss Danny DeVito. I really do.
Oh, yeah. Man, I forgot how many seasons there were of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I watched like 3 seasons, and then I'll just randomly catch a clip on YouTube or something, and I'll be like, this show is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, where are we at?
Movie news.
Tell me about Pandas.
Well, I thought this was appropriate. Just so you know, there is a movie coming out about pandas. It is a documentary that Kristen Bell is narrating. It got a trailer. It looks cute. But much like Kung Fu Panda, Adam, this one will not have Arnold Schwarzenegger in it either. So.
Oh, man. That skadoosh. It was such a good... I talked to my mom about that, and she laughed. Oh, man. Kung Fu Panda.
Although, to be fair, I would love to see Arnold Schwarzenegger in a documentary about pandas, though.
Oh, yeah. Have him direct... Have him just voice the whole thing. Like a Planet Earth, but with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That would be fantastic.
And here you see the pandas, and they can't stop eating bamboo. It's all they do. And then they're sleeping. That. Wake up, pandas! You have to wake up.
I would love that.
There's so few of you left. Why are you doing nothing? Oh god.
Man.
That would. Oh yeah. Okay. So
I was just thinking, what
no.
what were those movies that Stallone put Schwarzenegger in? A bunch of them.
Expendables.
Did Hulk Hogan ever do that? Was he ever in those movies?
No.
I'm shocked they never put him in one, because he was kind of a big star back then.
He wasn't an action star.
He kind of was.
No, he wasn't.
Hulk Hogan?
Not an action star.
I saw him in the same kind of roles that I saw like Schwarzenegger, where it was a big muscular guy in a goofy role.
Yeah, but nobody actually went to those movies. Like people went and saw. People paid to see Rambo. Nobody paid to see, what was it, Mr. Nanny or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, Mr. Nanny. Sure, they did.
No, they did not.
Days of Thunder.
Don't you come down on me with Days of Thunder now.
No, not Days of Thunder.
I was gonna say, what am I
thinking of? Thunder in Paradise.
Thunder in Paradise. Thunder in Paradise was a TV show.
I know. Sorry, I'm in a totally different... Days of Thunder was oh man, maybe I'm remembering that wrong.
I was if Hulk Hogan was in Days of Thunder, man, then I've always missed the best part of that movie. Then I guess.
Yeah, no, Thunder in Paradise, and I think they shot it here at SeaWorld.
Yeah, well, because that was where Bischoff went to meet with him to get him to come to WCW. Was on the set of Thunder in Paradise.
Man, I wonder if that's on Blu-ray.
Oh God, I don't even know if they aired it.
Yeah, no, it's got to be on like streaming somewhere or like on VHS or something. Maybe DVD, maybe like the whole series. All right, so you got a point. Maybe Hogan isn't. He was in Rocky.
As Thunderlips, that's where he came from.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it had one 22 episode season.
There you go. See, I knew it had something. I remember seeing it on TV.
And 6 episodes have made it onto DVD, I think. Well, let me read this. 2006, Lionsgate released a 3-disc Thunder in Paradise collection that contained Thunder in Paradise Parts 1 and 2. So, yeah, it's 6 episodes. It's just 3 2-part episodes.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I should say.
Yeah. Man, just the look at the cover of the 3-disc set.
Oh man, do I really want to?
Tell me that's not awesome. No, it's just this weird picture of him with a gun somehow on the water and his boat's in the background and everything's on fire.
God, I'll bet it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Man.
Every poster, like if you Google Thunder in Paradise and look at images, just every image is
it's all the same pretty much.
It's all ridiculous. All right. So anyway, back where were we? The Weinstein Company.
Yeah, they're going bankrupt. They're filing for bankruptcy. They were supposed to have a deal in place with somebody, and then that fell through, or a court kept it from falling through, or something. The details were a little fuzzy, but
they gotta gut everybody, change the name, or just let it die.
Yeah, so they're. But here's the thing: when it says they filed for bankruptcy, I don't even know what that means anymore, because it used to just mean if you filed for bankruptcy, you were done, like that was it. But
oh no, that's definitely not what it means now.
Yeah, it's totally different anymore. So I don't know. It means they'll have to restructure and pay a bunch of stuff off, and right. Who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. J.J. Abrams is finished with his script. So that's good for episode 9.
Yeah, he and Terrio. They actually have a completed script, which is kind of a first for J.J., I think.
Yeah. Wait, why do you say that?
Because he's not used to like the script is done.
Oh,
like I mean,
okay. You're saying the script's usually not finished when he goes down set.
Or it's usually like mostly finished. It's not like he shows up with an outline. I'm not.
Right.
But it's like, yeah, we've got pretty much everything figured out.
Yeah.
I think this is a case of where it's like, oh no, it's done. We wrote it, like totally.
Oh yeah. All right, we got some projects leaked from Fox.
Yeah, now I hadn't heard about these, The interesting thing was the way I read the headlines were split. It was either we have details of quote unquote secret projects over at Fox, or it was just a totally bland, oh, by the way, here's some stuff headlines. So I don't know if these were just things that I didn't know about, but I didn't know like the details on any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Brian K. Vaughan was writing a Silver Surfer movie for them, which is fantastic news.
Oh, yeah. Well, they kind of, not too long ago, they leaked that, what's his face? That just went to DC.
Bendis. I know Bendis is working on like a secret X-Men project.
I think this is kind of all in those same lines where they're like, hey, quick, write us something real fast. We'll see what it does. Kind of like what they did with Bendis. I think that's kind of what this is. The Silver Surfer by Brian K. Vaughan makes total sense. He, that's him just kind of getting ready for his saga. They know he can do sci-fi, and that would be perfect.
Yeah.
I would love some Brian K. Vaughan Silver Surfer. I see X-Forces begin shooting in October.
Yep. Even though I can't spell on
Fox is not like slowing down, even though Disney bought them.
No. And I mean, why would they? Like, how much this kind of stuff is not going to change from when Disney comes in, they're not going to just scrap everything that's already in production. And the other thing is, this deal is still not done. This deal's not going to be done for months and months and months.
I think once it is you're absolutely right. I think once it is officially done, I think they do scrap the X-Men universe. I think that would be the last we see of it.
I think that anything that hasn't made it to pre-production gets junked. But if there's if there are films that they're already working on, like if say Silver Surfer we'll use X-Force. X-Force is going to shoot in October. It's going to be in post-production for months. Like it's gonna go from production. It's gonna be in post-production when this deal is done. So
you're absolutely right. If it's in production, then yes. If it's in pre-production, I think they scrap it because it doesn't make sense to do a movie that's not going to be attached to their bigger picture.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it'll definitely be a case-by-case basis.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Side note: Sting was in Thunder in Paradise as well.
Oh God, of course he was.
but yeah, man, these are Doctor Doom movie. How are you gonna do a Doctor Doom movie?
This is one that I hope they scrap.
Don't get me wrong. Doctor Doom is arguably one of my favorite villains, done right.
Yeah,
I would love if there's a Doctor Doom comic, with Stephen Strange. And it's called Triumph and Torment, I believe. And it's about... They're both doctors, obviously. And Stephen Strange... Doctor Doom wants to become what Stephen Strange is. Now, I forget what that is again. It's like the master of the mystic arts or whatever.
Sorcerer Supreme, I think.
Sorcerer Supreme, that's it, yes. I need to go back and read it. It's been a while. It's something oral from a comic shop gave me, and I loved it. And it tells the story of, Doctor Doom is like straight up, I want to do what you do. And it's the story about...
It's about his...
Essentially...
Isn't it about his mom?
That's what I was getting to. That it's a story about them saving his mom from hell.
That's right. Yeah, God. I haven't read this in an age, but yeah.
And it's really cool, and it's really interesting. And you know how, like, Thor had a movie with Hulk? I could totally see a Doctor Strange and a Doctor Doom movie. Just call it Doctor and Doctor, I guess. But it would be such a cool thing for them to do. Because Doctor Doom alone doesn't really make sense. Like, you could tell his side of the story and, how he got to where he was, which is actually really interesting. There's a comic out there where it's actually about Doctor Doom's point of view. And it's all skewed, and it all makes him look like this guy that was... attacked, and it just makes him look like a good guy because that's how he sees himself. He doesn't see himself as the villain of the story. So I don't know. That'd be interesting. But we'll see. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would rather wait until Disney gets a hold of that for them to do Doctor Doom and Fantastic Four stuff and all of that.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
Oh yeah. Did you see the picture that came out from I was gonna say Captain Marvel, but that's not his name anymore. Shazam.
The one of like him at the mall.
It does not look good. It looks like the character from the comics, but it's I don't know if that's a good thing.
But there's...
It looks like a guy dressing up as him.
Well, but here's the thing you have to remember. That guy is actually a child. So...
I know, but he's got a muscle suit on. It looks... and I guess you can't take set photos and be like, well, that looks terrible.
Yeah.
Because they all do.
I'm going to wait. This is one that even when they show, like, and here's your first official look, I am going to wait for a trailer before I decide on this, because then you're going to have context, and I think that in particular with Shazam is very important.
No, I agree. I'm excited for the movie. Still going to see it, of course. Probably sucks that got leaked for them. I'm sure.
I mean, not.
I think
really,
I saw on Twitter the guy playing him, the actor, whatever his name is, Levi or whatever.
Yeah.
He wants to release like actual images of it, but he can't. The studio doesn't want to now.
Well, and I mean, like, it's a photo from the back and the side. Like, I mean, it's a crap photo for one thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I will in somewhat uncharacteristic fashion, I will withhold judgment from this particular DC project because I really want this to work, because I really love Zachary Levi for one thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, we will see. You go ahead and take the next one here.
Yeah, speaking of Captain Marvel, Gemma Chan from Humans has been cast as Dr. Minerva, or Min-Irva, in the same fashion as Marvel, who in the comics was a Kree spy, if I remember right. My Captain Marvel's a little rusty. So I'm assuming villain, antagonist at the very worst. But okay, cool, good choice. I'm down.
Yeah. Joss Whedon exits from Batgirl, saying I really didn't have a story.
Yeah, they gave him a year to take a crack at it, and he couldn't find a way that he liked. And so instead of trying to force something, he said, "You know what? I'm out. I don't have it." And
what? I saw a lot of people not liking Joss Whedon. Remind me again why people don't like him.
There's a big deal about, he wrote a Wonder Woman script a while back that was very, because Joss is kind of celebrated as being very, I mean, you look at shows like Buffy and how they're very pro-woman, and his Wonder Woman script was not.
Oh, okay.
And so there was a lot of backlash over that. And
I thought, did he sexually harass somebody or something? Because that's the vibes I got from some people who were like, yes, good, I'm glad he's out. And it was almost like, I've never seen people cheer like that for...
Yeah. It's a bizarre thing that I didn't see. Sadly, I wouldn't be surprised, just because Hollywood.
Well, I thought, this is a guy who did Avengers. I haven't heard of anything
that's
terrible about him. So
that was kind of the thing. I would have thought that if I had even seen something, it would have popped. But I remember I remember the thing that I remember was the Wonder Woman script was very like almost demeaning in a way, and sometimes not subtly either. Like this was the exact opposite of what you would expect. It was almost more of a Michael Bay-ish script in that kind of way.
Right, gotcha.
And, so a lot of people saying, "Oh, see, he's not perfect. See, he does the same crap too," like kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
But
well, so he's off the project. Interesting to see who they replace him with.
I can't wait to see what woman they bring in to do it, because it should be.
Yeah. I think that was the number one thing I saw from people, besides the fact that they were excited he left, was that they were hoping that a woman would now take reins, which would be cool.
Yeah.
Be dope.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. We got some Jurassic Park 3 news. The film gets a June 11th, 2021 release date. Will be co-written by Emily. Oh, man, I should have had you take this one because Carmichael. Why did I say Carmichael? I'm such an idiot. It's too late, people. It's very late. And I can't read names, as we all know. Pacific Rim Uprising and Colin Trevorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this the Uprising? That's the movie coming up, right?
Yeah, it's in a few weeks. 23rd. Yeah.
So we'll see how good that one is. I don't know if I like the CGI on the new one.
I'm not digging the brightness. That's my problem. Everything pops a little too much for me, but that's nitpicky. I will admit that's nitpicky. I'm gonna go see it. I'm excited for it. I hope it's in our big theater so I can, sneak in and watch half of it. But I'm excited for it. I want to see it.
Yeah, the big robots I don't know. They just don't have that heft to them. They look too fake to me. The way the machine is like moving and grinding within. I don't know. This is just old dumb me. But I wish when I saw a movie with a big robot, it took them longer to do things. If that makes sense. There should be a weight to them when they move. It should not be like super fast. Like, it feels like, I don't know. Does that make sense?
No, I totally agree. The first Pacific Rim did that pretty well, I thought.
Yeah, no, that did. This one, it's like like Power Rangers or something.
No, I'm with you. There is a lightness to it. It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, like there should be some heft, and when they move, it should just shake and rattle. And you can do that with the way you shoot it and with the camera angles. Because this just, I don't know, it's just the CGI fell all off on it. So, but it's should be good. It's got a boy John Boyega in it, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
We got some Guardians Volume 3 news.
Yeah, this was weird. They asked I think James Gunn was doing a Q&A on Twitter, and somebody asked if Mark Hamill was going to be in the film. And he had a little fun response to it, like, hey, if anybody can tell him to meet me for a cup of coffee, then, we'll talk about it. And everybody had a good laugh, and Mark basically just kind of went, okay, yeah, sure, where do you want to sit down?
Yeah.
So I don't know. He may pop up in the next Guardians movie. Who knows?
I would love that.
But honest to God, I hope it's as Mark Hamill. I hope it's
I would love that.
I hope it's like I hope that it's Star-Lord doing a whole like, oh my God, you were in Star Wars kind of thing. Like, I really hope that it's like him freaking out at some kind of fan convention, because we know by Volume 3 they'll have come to Earth, because we know they're coming to Earth in Avengers. So like,
what if he runs into him in space? He's like, "What are you doing here? What are you doing here? You can't tell anyone about this. No one's gonna believe me."
I'd love that.
Like he's chilling at a bar. That would be great, just like the cantina or something. So he's like, "What is that, Mark Hamill?" I don't know. That'd be hilarious.
Just have him like saunter through some kind of bar out in space, and he bumps into this dude and knocks his hood back, and
what if he just looks at him and says, "No one's going to believe this"?
I would just
walks away.
The best part about that though would be like he spills his blue milk.
Right, exactly.
It's just like they just kind of lock eyes, and I would love for Mark to just kind of wink, and for Chris to turn around and have that face, just that excited little kid face of, oh my God, and turn back around to say something, and he's gone.
You can make that a joke throughout the whole movie where he's like trying to tell everyone on the ship that he bumped into Mark Hamill, and they're like, "What are you talking about?
You are never going to believe who I just saw in there." Yeah, we don't care. We have whoever the villain is chasing us right now. We'll have to do this later. All right, but you guys, this is a really great story. Yeah, well, tell us if we don't die.
Rocket's just like, what are you talking about? Yeah, exactly. That'd be great. And have Drax like, tell me about these wars.
Tell me about it. Oh my God, tell me about the wars of the new stars. I want to know about these wars.
Right. Oh man, that would be such a fun gag.
How do you have a sword made out of
that?
Yeah.
You know how
Go for it.
they were gonna have what's his face be in Guardians, and the last one it was Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, he was gonna be the actor. He was gonna be yeah, damn it. The guy who he was gonna be the non-superhero version of
Yes.
I cannot remember. I know there are people yelling at me right now.
He's got the red in his eyes.
Yes, he's
Simon. No.
Yes, Simon. It's oh man, I've got to look this up because this is making me crazy.
While you look that up, he was essentially going to be playing Tony Stark in a movie. So he was an actor playing Tony Stark in the movie Iron Man.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the joke.
Yeah, Wonder Man, Simon Williams.
Wonder Man.
Exactly.
You can have Wonder Man if they go to Earth. You can have Wonder Man and Mark Hamill's having a beer or something.
Oh,
but
yeah,
that's great.
Man.
Good time. So where were we at? So that'd be awesome. Mark Hamill in Guardians 3, of course. Sign me up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Chris McKay from Lego Batman to direct a film for Hasbro, the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah. Sure. Why not? Go for it. Good on you.
Yeah. Danny Boyle reportedly in talks to direct the next Bond film.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Would look very interesting.
Paul King from Paddington in talks to direct live-action Pinocchio.
Yeah, because this guy's not all of a sudden red hot for. Right. I mean, because he's doing. Because they're talking about him for Pinocchio. He just signed on to do something for, was it Warner Brothers?
Not sure.
He just because we talked about it last week. It was crazy. Paul King has signed on to do. I can't find it. Oh, Willy Wonka. That was the other thing.
Oh, okay.
He's doing the next Willy Wonka movie. That was it.
Yeah. We got Chris Tucker says film for says Rush Hour 4 is eventually going to happen. So
well, yeah, he's got to do something with his life.
Yeah.
I love Chris Tucker. I actually think he's funny and I enjoy him. But man, if it wasn't for Friday and Rush Hour, nobody would know who he is at all.
I would love another Friday movie.
They're working on a Last Friday. They have been for a while now.
Oh yeah.
I think like he was really digging on it, and then Straight Outta Compton came along. He's like, "Well, shit, I got to go work on this now."
Right. We got some. Here, you go ahead and take the next one.
This one's interesting. They're doing a futuristic Zorro movie. It's just called Z, and it's got some people attached to it already. Nobody that I thought was really interesting. But the newest piece of news is that Kiersey Clemons, who was in Dope, is going to co-star in it. She's going to be the female lead.
That's dope.
It's who's the director?
A futuristic Zorro sounds pretty cool.
It could be interesting. It could genuinely be interesting. And I don't remember exactly who was directing it. Was it Jonas Cuarón? I think, because it wasn't the Cuarón that we're used to. It wasn't him. But it's somebody with the same last name. I'll look that up real quick. But I thought, I was like, okay, they're doing this. This is gonna be a thing. Because we hadn't heard about this for, I don't know, months.
Right.
Yeah, Jonas Cuarón. So good for him.
Yeah.
Set in the near future, be written and directed by Cuarón, financed by Lantica Media, which I'm not familiar with. Will be starring, I lost it. I had it and I lost it. Gael Garcia Bernal, who I'm going to look up because the name sounds familiar, but I do not remember what I have seen him in, if anything. Probably not anything. Doesn't look like it. But no, was he in Coco?
He was in who?
He was in Coco. Who was he in Coco?
Not sure.
That's interesting. It won't tell me. But anyway, this is going to be a thing. I'm very excited about that.
Cool. We got some Netflix news. Jay and Mark Duplass from Creep sign with the Netflix for the rights for the next 4 films. That's kind of big.
Yeah. Oh, he played Hector in Coco. Okay, very cool. Very cool indeed. But yeah, Creep. If you haven't, have you seen Creep?
No.
Oh, it's creepy.
Creepy?
Appropriately.
Hey.
Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. Let's see here. Creep. Yeah, definitely. I'll check it out. But let's see here. Now, I don't get this.
You and me both, man.
Yeah, you take it.
Yeah, Fox Searchlight is producing the biopic of a guy named Richard Montanes. He was a janitor, from what I have been able to piece together, that had a great idea, and also, through a lot of hard work, wound up becoming a big-time player with Frito-Lay. His big claim to fame, though, is why they're calling this movie Flamin' Hot, because he came up with the idea for Flamin' Hot Cheetos. And that gets you your own freaking movie.
It is popular. There's a lot of people that like those chips.
Look, of every movie that we've had about everybody on the planet, I'm actually curious about this movie because it is a little outside the norm. He's not a musician or an athlete or a world leader. He's a guy who had a hell of an idea. And there's... did you see The Founder?
Wait, so is the movie about him? Oh, okay, it's a biopic about him.
Yeah, it's about him. It's not about Cheetos. It's about him.
I kept thinking, what on earth are they going to do? I thought, like, Chester the Cheeto has his own movie.
Voiced by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
How are they going to do this? Makes sense now, because that's interesting.
Yeah, it's the it's about the guy. It's not about... It's about the guy who had the idea for Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Right.
And I say, why not? We've had biopics of every other kind of person. Why not somebody who just had $1 billion idea that wasn't, some revolutionary technology? I like this idea.
I really enjoyed the Founder with Michael Keaton.
It was good, and I loved coming away from that movie going, I really hate that I cheered for him.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. It's interesting, the Ray Kroc story. Yeah, it's that whole movie was crazy.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things you probably only watch once, but you're like, okay, that's a story I just didn't know fully, and now I do. It makes you look at things a little bit differently. But yeah, that's so if it's anything like that, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm down. Absolutely.
Yeah. Lionsgate had some announcements.
Yeah, they, from what I saw, revealed a new, I don't know if it's a new studio or a new production arm or whatever it is. It's called Studio L. And they're handling what I'm just going to call some of the stranger projects. There was something called The Honor List. There was something else called Most Likely to Murder. There was Chicken Girls, the movie. There was... This is...
Come again?
If I remember right, like, all of this is, like, very young adult YouTube-y stuff that they're turning into actual movies. Now, I think that they're digital. I don't think this is, like, the actual Lionsgate production company. I think this is their new, like, straight-to-digital production company. They're working on a sequel to Blue Mountain State, for example. And they're doing a TV series style thing, both with the Blair Witch, which I don't know how that's really going to work or if I even actually want that. And they're going to do a TV style series based on waiting. So, yeah. That one I might actually be a little interested in. The one on the Blair Witch, I don't know if... I don't think there's a real market for that.
Okay. Yeah, well, we'll see.
But, I mean, these are their partnerships with, like, Pop Sugar Films and The Onion Films and, like, that kind of stuff.
Right,
This is, I think, that arm of the company, the one that says, hey, you know, we're doing the fun, like, digital platform stuff, which is fine. There's a market and an audience for it, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, the Blue Mountain State. I don't know. Oh, that was the... Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Apple orders 10 episodes, half-hour series from M. Night Shyamalan and Tony Bascup.
Sure, close enough.
Bascup, yeah.
I'd go Bascup, yeah.
Bascup. Okay,
yeah, he worked
cool.
on 24, yeah.
Yeah, we know Apple's been kind of rumors, right? That they've been wanting to do their own studio and stuff like that, so that would be interesting.
Well, I mean, they've been working on a handful of stuff. I mean, we talked last week, though, about, I forget who it was that bailed on one of the productions they've been doing. I mean, this is growing pains. This stuff happens.
Oh, yeah.
I know, I remember when Amazon went through it, when they were trying to do Amazon Studios, and it took, that took a lot of debugging to get straightened out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and if anyone has the money to do that, Apple does.
Oh, yeah, they'll all be fine.
I saw today their stock was at an all-time high. Ooh. Man.
Nobody splits anymore. That bugs me. Stocks don't split. Yeah. We've had Pepsi stock for literally generations. And I don't know, 10 or however many years ago, it just stopped splitting. It used to be like it would get to $80 and split, and now it's at like 100 and something.
I don't know stocks that much, so yeah.
Stocks just don't split. I don't know. They don't see the value in it. They'd rather have the big dollar value than have more stock options floating around, I guess.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, well.
The, let's see here. The Punisher, there was some news announced for that. We talked about the season 2 being announced before. But there's some people who joined the cast. You go ahead and take this so I don't butcher their names.
Yeah, Josh Stewart is cast to play a guy named John Pilgrim, who looks to be kind of a mirror for the Punisher. It kind of sounded like. Floriana Lima is going to play Krista Dumont, whose character bio was brief and escapes me for the moment. And Georgia Wiggum is cast to play a character named Amy Bendix, who looked to be kind of like this streetwise sort of criminal. And that was another one. There was like half a sentence description.
Okay.
But
yeah, there was never really, I don't know, I never really read Punisher comics, but he never really had like
there wasn't a crew, it didn't seem like.
Right. The only time he got close to someone when there was someone he was basically trying to train to become the next Punisher, and I forgot what her name was. So I don't know if that's what this Amy Bendox is. Yeah. So I don't know. But hey, I loved that first season. It was really good. So looking forward to the second one.
Totally.
Did you see the trailer for The Lost in Space for Netflix?
I did. It doesn't look near as funny as it did 60 some years ago.
Right. Which, I don't know, I saw a lot of people see the trailer and the reactions were, hey, that was better than I thought it was going to be.
It looks good. I'm happy to give it that. It genuinely looks good.
Oh, yeah.
And that comes out in April. It's about April 13th.
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting we get Jessica Jones this month.
Oh, we do.
That's this month. And I think
February?
Well, March, this coming month.
Oh, March.
Like
I'm like, we only got a few days left. Is it this Friday? Oh my God, is it this Friday?
I'm gonna look.
While you look,
you talk about the Muppets.
The Muppets, yes. Disney's going to try another reboot on their streaming service, which makes sense. If you're going to put it somewhere, put it on your new service. I kind of liked that they did that Office thing. That was really cool because the Muppet Show, to me, we talked about it. It's like wrestling. Sometimes the best stuff is it's a show about wrestling.
Yeah.
Where the Muppets is like it's a show about a show. It's about the Muppets behind the scenes. And so I loved the Office approach to that. So I don't know what they're going to do with this new one. Who knows? I saw that they made a new Muppet Babies though.
Yeah.
For kids. Yeah. And it looks very much like 2018 Muppet Babies where it's they're going to be learning and all that other stuff. So
yeah, March 8th, a week from Thursday.
Oh, hey, there we go. Cool. Yeah. Next week. We got some Rocketeer news. Disney Junior developing an animated series based on the 80s comic.
Yeah, this was a great movie. I love this movie.
I was never into it.
Oh, really? Oh, it's a bummer.
Never was my thing. I thought, he's got a rocket pack. Woohoo!
It's old school. It's very old school, like pulp kind of.
I think I was too young to appreciate that.
That's fair. I go back and watch it again. It actually does hold up.
I have weird phases in my life. Like when that came out, I was all about like I want to see Power Rangers and I want to see the Honey I Shrunk the Kids. There had to have been some like crazy catch to the movie where I thought that was boring.
Yeah.
I was talking to my buddy yesterday, and this is embarrassing, but I'll fully admit it. It's because I was a stupid teenager when we were talking about like he's babysitting dog sitting for his buddy, and then he has a dog named Balto. And he's like, "What have you seen that animated movie? Bo, it was good." I was like, I think at that point in time in my life, I thought like I've loved animation for my entire life. So let me say that right off the bat. But at that point in my life, I was like, oh well, it's a cartoon, it's for babies, and I couldn't have been more childish about that opinion, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But it was right. It was like I was in high school or something, and I was like, I didn't. Lion King is what I watched when I was a kid, and then of course you get out of high school and you're like, oh my God, you're watching the movie Up and you're crying. You know what I mean? So yeah. It's funny how that changes. It's funny how that state of my life, for whatever reason, I had that in my head. And that changed almost immediately a few years later. I mean, and it's so stupid because right after that I started watching Dragon Ball Z. So what do I know?
Well, and I mean, how many people went through that with Pokemon? You were a kid and you loved it, and then you went to school and it wasn't cool, so you kind of let it go. Some of us didn't, but some of us did, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's not cool, put that away." And then how many of those exact same people, as soon as Pokemon Go was announced, were like, "Oh my God, where do I sign up for this?" Like
exactly.
It happens, and things change, and people change, and mindsets change, and that's
totally.
I don't know. I might actually go back and watch this after this show because I liked it because it came out when I was really young. I think I was like 4 or 5 the first time I saw it.
Yeah, I think you're younger than me, so yeah. I was just at the age where I was like, I want to see Power Rangers, and it's got to be mutants or something. And
yeah, that's fair. No, that's totally
I was
fair.
like, he's got a rocket pack, woohoo! I just didn't, I'm sure it's a great movie, but it's weird when things hit you at the wrong age, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I had that happen. It's funny. I was thinking about that earlier today, and I won't waste time because I can't remember exactly what it was I was thinking about. But I had that where I was like, if you, and I think it might have just been like 90s kind of movies in general or something.
Yeah.
Where it was just like, if you saw this stuff as a kid, it was awesome. And if you go back and watch it now, you look at it and you think, yeah, it's old, yeah, it's whatever, but it's still awesome. But if you try to watch it for the first time now, then you're just going to go, oh yeah, this isn't going to work.
Oh, there's a million things I can think of that were like that. I'm always afraid to go back and watch those kind of movies. Like, I try to think to myself, was Dumb and Dumber really a funny movie, or was it just because I was a kid? And it's one of those, like, if you were to watch it probably right now, you probably would be like, oh, it might be cringeworthy. I don't know.
It's an interesting test.
the cable guy, or
The cable guy is cringeworthy. Oh my god, that's one I actually went back and watched not that long ago, and I watched that and I went, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there's just some movies where you should be in the conversation at that point in time, and it's some things come out later, and it's I don't know, I can't imagine trying to watch Dragon Ball Z right now at my age, never seeing it before, what that would be like. It's kind of cool to see the guys at Giant Bomb do it, and they're in love with it, surprising, but I don't know if I would be without that nostalgia factor.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, because I could totally see someone seeing it now and going, oh, no, that's just kind of crazy weird. But it's weird. It's weird what hits you at a certain age. But then again, when you get a little bit older, some of that kind of stuff you do kind of want more of.
Yeah.
I felt the same way with like comics and stuff. Like there was a phase where I just didn't care about them, and then I got back into them. I was like, oh, well, this is interesting. When I started going to that comic shop. So it's weird how that works.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We got some. So Reboot. What's this?
Oh, dude, you don't remember Reboot.
This is that animated TV show.
Yeah. Reboot was another one. This is one where, like, if you watched it then, it was amazing. If you tried to watch it for the first time now, it wouldn't happen. It's
like the first animated thing, right?
Yeah, it was one of those where it was the first, like, completely CGI cartoons.
Right.
Netflix bought the rights to a live-action CGI reboot of Reboot. It's called Reboot: The Guardian Code, and it's very for kids. Like this is very much just like a different version of Power Rangers kind of thing.
Yeah, I could totally see this.
Yeah, so this is not for us at all, but
No.
It's a great way to look back and say, oh, I remember how cool this was, and to kind of to as something for your kids of like, hey, and here's your version of it, you get your own. Isn't this really cool?
Right.
But yeah,
right.
this is definitely not for us, for sure. But I love that in some way it's still kind of kept alive.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool to see my niece and nephew watch it. Real fast, saw a tweet from James Gunn, and it blew my mind.
Okay.
So someone asked him, but you can grow Groot back as evidence in your films once you kill Porg, it's gone. And James Gunn says, first Groot is dead. Baby Groot is his son.
Don't do that to me.
I had no idea.
Don't do that to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Groot's dead, and this is his son.
Don't do that to me.
Yeah,
I'm not ready.
I'm sorry.
It's too late at night for me to be dealing with that. Don't do that to me. Screw you, James Gunn. Like,
yeah. Oh man, so we're seeing him grow through his adolescence.
Okay, but here is a very interesting kind of way to look at this, though, because in plant fashion, the offspring is basically the same as the original. So it's almost like it's almost more Phoenix-like, in the sense of, yes, he's dead and it's his son, but it's really just like Groot has hit the reset button on himself.
Basically, he said, although I don't necessarily think it was obvious in Volume 1, it's important to say that if you're exploded and a little glob of you started growing into a baby, that it would not assume the baby was you. He goes, I do think it's more obvious in Volume 2 as Baby Groot has a different personality than Groot, none of his memories, and is much, much dumber. So, yeah.
I don't know. I thought he had a bunch of his personality in Volume 2.
I thought he did too, yeah. But I don't know. I was like, okay, all right, James Gunn.
So we're gonna see Groot Jr. in Avengers: Infinity War.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. We got some video game news. Turok, the remasters of the first and second game is coming to Xbox One on March 2nd, priced at $20 each.
Yeah, and they don't look all that much. Like, I'm not going to be picking these up. They don't look like $20 each. If it was $20 for both, I'd consider it.
I bought Bayonetta 2 on the Switch, and it was like $40 or $50, and immediately Bayonetta 1 was like $5 or $10. It dropped the price from like 40 to 5, or maybe it was 10. Because I guess you can get it like if you bought it physically, you got it for like $60, I think. So it added up.
Yeah.
So I'm playing through those now, and they're pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, they hold up.
I've never played them before.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, I never played them. I don't know what I'm doing. I only played the first few minutes of the second, or maybe it was the first one. Yeah, you're like falling on a clock, and I'm just like falling and falling.
That's the first one, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay, there's a lot of falling. Nothing's happened so far, but it feels better than Kingdom Hearts or something. You know, so, but yeah, we'll see. The Xbox Game Pass, they released the games that are going to be on it. Sea of Thieves is coming to service on at launch on March 20th.
Yeah, I'm excited. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Titles available March 1st are Rise of Tomb Raider, Super Lucky's Tale, Resident Evil Revelations 2, Oxenfree, Ali Oxenfree, Sonic CD, The Final Station, and Euro Fishing.
I'm telling you what, man, you could throw Rise of the Tomb Raider and Sonic CD out the window. I couldn't wait. I'm excited for Euro Fishing, man. I'll tell you what.
Euro Fishing, never heard of it.
It's a fishing game.
Okay.
Because they do make them, which is kind of funny.
Oh yeah, my older brother actually loves fishing game because he likes fishing in real life.
Yeah. I
could care less.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna have a lot of fun with this because it's on a controller, but I still somewhere around here in a box actually have the old rod for the Dreamcast for Sega Bass Fishing. I still have that thing here somewhere. I know I do.
Now I would totally love. Now I know they're doing the Lobo with the Switch, but I would love a Joy-Con that you pull off, put on, and it's a fishing rod. I would totally play that.
Dude, give me just an Ocarina of Time mini game. The fishing.
Well, they have the Final Fantasy one, right?
Oh god, that's right. It's like its own full thing. That's right. They made I keep forgetting they made like an actual game out of that. Yeah, which is crazy.
Let's see here. We got some comic book news here. Some Twitter exchanges between Scott Snyder and Jason Aaron and Tom Brevoort, senior VP of publishing at Marvel, teases idea of Avengers JL crossover. You know, Scott Snyder, Jason Aaron, they love to have some fun. They're friends in real life, and it's cool to see them kind of play off each other, like, hey, this would be fun, and like when the senior VP of publishing is like, hey, that would, there'd be a lot of things they'd have to legally get through, but man, that would be a fun crossover if they did that like in the next year or so.
Yeah, and I think they could do it. I think they'd absolutely do it.
You know who could probably help with that?
Oh, here we go.
He just went to DC.
Oh, here we go. No, you're absolutely right. If you put Bendis on one of these books, yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that is that could be the guy that's like, hey, I know how Marvel works. I know how you guys work. That could be the what do you call it? The branch. I don't know. It's too late. It's too late right now.
The bridge, is that what you're looking for?
No, there's a phrase that I'm thinking of, and I can't think of it now. It's going to really annoy me. The olive branch. That's what I was thinking of.
Well, but I mean, an olive branch is only needed if you're at war.
It's DC and Marvel. They're always kind of a little bit behind the scenes at war with each other. They're competition.
Yeah. Fair
you
enough.
have your DC fanboys, you have your Marvel fanboys, and you can tell that there's a little bit of, rightfully so. DC wants to be better than Marvel. Marvel wants to be better than DC, and I'm sure they all want to be they want each other to be as good as the other. But I think there is some, there's some healthy rivalry there, and I think it would be totally cool to see these creators bounce off of each other and have some story that connected them.
Yeah.
This day and age, so that would be awesome. Josh Whedon is going to write a 4-issue season 12 arc for Buffy the Vampire Slayer for Dark Horse.
Yeah, because that comic has had a weird history. It's strange.
Yeah. Well, he's got nothing better to do right now.
Yeah, he's not doing Batgirl, so he might as well do something.
Hey, maybe he'd want to do a TV show soon.
He could, maybe talk to Disney and mend some fences, say, hey, I hear you guys are buying Fox and their library and the stuff that they own the rights to. So, if there's anything in their TV library that they haven't done that you might think people would want, just give me a call. Just give me a call. I'll just be over here, just sitting, just relaxing, a little peace and serenity, and everything's fine. Just give me a call.
Yeah, that would be great. And let's see here. You saw Game Night?
I did, and I'll tell you what, it was really freaking good.
It was good?
It was genuinely good. Like it's actually funny, and it's bizarre because the thriller elements also work.
Ooh.
It really, like, I would highly recommend going to see it. It's really good.
Damn. Okay. Well,
I know.
Maybe I should go see it.
I wasn't expecting it either, but I understand the reviews because everybody was like, this wasn't just IGN. Everybody came out and was like, you know what, this is actually a good movie. And I thought
it's hard not to see Black Panther again, though. That's the problem.
I understand, man. And very fast story because I know we're out of time. It's so hard to not see Black Panther that at the moment in this movie, in Game Night, the actual literal climactic point in this film where you have, like, we've come to this moment and the things happen, and so now we have to have the discussion where we wrap everything up before we go to, like, the little 4-minute scene that ends the movie on the big happy note. Not a spoiler because you know what's going to happen watching this movie. You can see it from the trailer. But you come to this moment, and it happens in every film like this. 5 guys come bouncing in up the stairs, laughing, talking, having a good time, ruin the whole damn movie because they were wanting to go see Black Panther, which was next door.
Oh,
These
no.
idiots came in the wrong theater at literally the worst possible moments.
Oh, no.
And it took that entire speech for them to finally listen to everybody telling them to shut up, and then they realized, oh, this isn't a trailer, we're in the wrong theater, and then leave. I was so mad. Oh, I was so mad.
That's terrible.
Because there were like 8 people in the theater. Nobody went to see Game Night over here. Nobody. And I was like, okay, cool. Theater pretty much all to myself. It's great. And then at the worst possible moment. And I've, on the one hand, I was just, and I'm more mad than anything. Part of me wants to say, well, they made a mistake. We're in Theater 4, which is right next door to 5. And that's where Black Panther was playing. Now, you might think, well, it's easy to miss Theater 5. No, it's not. Not in this movie theater here, because you go to the counter and buy your tickets, and you pass by the podium, and as you're walking in, literally right in front of you is a set of double doors with a giant number 5 right there up top. You absolutely,
that's annoying.
Yeah, you absolutely cannot miss it. So that's how stupid these guys were. But
that sucks.
But it's a good movie. It's a good man. I don't. They didn't ruin the entire movie, but it was like of right. Every moment to bust in like that. But no, go see it. It is very good. If you've got the time and you're like, I want to go see something, and you've seen Black Panther 4 or 5 times already, go see Game Night. You could definitely do worse. Yeah,
I'm going to. I think this weekend once I go see Black Panther, so I'm definitely doing that. But I'm gonna go see Game Night.
Yeah.
It's man, there's not enough time in the day
to
do what I want to do. Oh yeah, but that's it for the show. We will be back next Wednesday, of course. Same time, same place. Make sure you go to our iTunes, to the what do they call it now? The Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcast, yeah.
Yeah, and give us a review. That helps. Send us an email, wegeekpodcast@gmail.com. Ask us any questions. Go to our Twitter, wegeekpodcast@gmail.com. The Logan, the Twitter is at the Logan Witt, and at Adam Estep. My brain is fried tonight, so excuse me. Make sure you go check out our YouTube channel. Go ahead. What was that?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, if you wanted me to take it, I can round it out for you.
Yeah, you round it out.
We had we're on Twitter. Just look us up. We Geek Podcast. I finally started an Instagram for us.
Oh, sweet.
Which I'm gonna start. Eventually I'm gonna have you be in charge of all our social media stuff, because you're better at that than I am.
Okay.
But we are on Instagram. It's just We Geek Podcast, which I thought maybe I had done a long time ago, but I hadn't. And next week, because this weekend is the Oscars, so in our Facebook group, I am going to post a link to somebody who has like an Oscar ballot. I don't know if it'll be ABC or Variety or somebody.
Okay.
Fill them out and post them in our group. There's no prizes involved or anything, but I'm just curious to see like who thinks what's gonna win what. So I'll have that up, hopefully by the time this airs.
Yeah, I'll definitely fill it out.
So that'll be fun. You covered Twitter, you did the email, did YouTube. I think that's pretty much everything, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's it. We'll be back next week. Probably have a lot more video game news to talk about. I've just been so busy this week, so yeah. But I'm glad I got my new mic and this filter, and hopefully it sounds better when I listen back to it. I don't hear the popping and all of that. But yeah, we'll be back next weekend, Captain.